Welcome to a brand new vlog. So this is a day or two or three in the life of me and my small creative business. If we haven't met before, hello and welcome. My name is Leanne. I am a metalsmith and an artist with a business called Leanne Ellison Designs, where I design and create watercolor jewellery and art for eco-conscious souls. So I have a couple of things on the boil. I have got a painting that I'm doing at the moment, which is a dandelion and a bee, and that will be watercolor and ink. I need to work on my cats. So I think I showed you that I had sketched out the cats. I have cut out the metal, I've painted it with ground. I need to clean up the edges and get the paint off there and then sketch in the cats and start painting. So I've got two pairs of those. So I'm planning on doing maybe a calico cat and then a black and white cat, a couple of pairs. So I've also got a video that I need to edit about just doing YouTube my way and building a channel that I want to build. I had a random stranger pop up in my comments telling me that my intros are too long and I need to do this and I need to do that. And I'm like, you know what? No, it's my channel. I'll do as I please. Thank you very much. So yeah, I thought I might record a video about that and just encouraging other people to just do what they want to do. You know, this is my channel and I'm going to run it how I want to run it. So yeah. All right, I need to at least either get on with these cats or this painting. I've been a little bit quiet lately. We were away over the weekend. We were in Beechworth and we went to the Off-Grid Living Festival in Chiltern. This is our third year that we've been, and it wasn't as good this year as it was in previous years. But I did get to hear Jade Miles speak, and I'm a big fan of Jade. She runs Black Barn Farm with her family. And she's got a book called Future Steading. She's got another book coming out called Huddle. The first book, Future Steading, is fantastic. And yeah, it was great to listen to her. She also has an amazing podcast. So if I remember, I will drop the link to her podcast in the description below. So yeah. I haven't been at home as much. And when I have been at home, I haven't been very well. So I'm still working through those headaches, but yeah. All right, enough chit chat. I need to get on with a few things, and I promise I will record because, you know, I'm notoriously bad at recording. And yeah, and then I'll come back and give you an update as to where I'm at. Okay, so this is the painting that I've been working on. The bee is mostly done. I just need to paint in the wings and maybe do some finishing touches. I need to do a lot more shading on this stem of the dandelion and then paint in the petals. I've got the petals kind of sketched in at the moment. I'm going to rub that out. That was more just a guideline of where I wanted everything to sit and so I could see where the bee was going to be. I've got other things I need to do, and this is kind of more of a personal project. So I may end up peeling it up off the bench and moving it, or I might have to just clear my desk because I've got so much junk here at the moment and just try and work a little bit further over. But this was just a personal project for me. It was something that I just feel like I needed to do because I'm just struggling at the moment with these headaches, and I just felt as though I needed to do something where it really didn't matter if I messed it up. And yeah, it's something that kind of relaxed me a little bit more, and yeah, this is kind of doing the trick, which is great. So I'm going to go off. I'll paint a little bit more of this, then I'm going to have some lunch, and then I will, I think, start on those cats. Okay, so it's finished. Couple of little problems. They're not problems, they're just things that I'm not overly happy with. There's a little section here in the middle that's a little bit too white. I need to come in and just give that a little couple of strokes with yellow and maybe some orange. And I forgot how delicate this paper is. I haven't used this paper in quite some time. And when I tore the tape off, I would not necessarily tape these sorts of things down, or I would make it much bigger and then tape it down. And I forgot, and I taped it at the size that I wanted it finished. And then you can see maybe there where the tape has come off. So I can probably trim it, make it a little bit sort of narrower, and maybe that'll center the whole thing a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not a big deal, but yeah, I'll have to make my mind up about that and what I do with it. Other than that, I'm really happy with it. It was something that I just needed to do for myself. I love the bee. I think he's super sweet. I love the dandelion. It's just, yeah, just a couple of little things that I need to do to finish it off. Now, another thing that I realized is I've got these irises. So this one is done. This one is so close. I just need to finish the center, but they got pushed aside and then I forgot they were there. So that's something that I really need to work on probably this afternoon, just to get that finished. And yeah, then sand the backs ready for sealing. I've got some pieces out in the studio that have just been sprayed on the back. So the front is all sealed, but the back needed to be sealed as well. So that is done. Yeah, get on with the cats. And then I've got my 100 tiny paintings. I decided a couple of weeks ago that I was going to do 100 tiny paintings, and I just haven't prioritized them. I really need to prioritize work over little bits like this, but I need to spend some time, as I said, just doing the occasional thing for me. This was one of the bigger ones because it sort of came to mind. But yeah, I need to at least, during some time that I've got free, to start on these 100 tiny paintings. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them in the end. You know, I might sell some of them off, or I might make a big thing out of them, or I don't know, I might just almost turn them into sort of little things that I send out to people when I send earrings or whatever it may be. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, that's something else that I would like to work on. I do need to do some work on social media. I think today is more of a Pinterest day. I'm just sort of not feeling it for Instagram. I do need to do some videos for Instagram, and I don't like Instagram. And so the problem I have is I put off doing any work because, and I know that I need to get this collection out there. I really need to get it to the point where people are seeing it and loving it. But yeah, the more I look at this, the more I'm like, I think I want to make some dandelion earrings. I think I might do that. I'll do a dandelion as a tiny painting. Do you think that maybe a bit bigger than that? I don't have anything. Oh, maybe the size of the bird of paradise. So these cats are a little bit longer than the bird of paradise, but not quite as wide. If I could maybe scale that down, I'll scale it down to make it a tiny painting, and then I'll decide what size I want the earrings. Oh, there you go. That's an idea. Okay, see, that's the problem. I have too many ideas and I don't do enough work on them. So I'm going to jot that down on my list of pieces that I would like to make. And yeah, it's time to actually get back to work and do something. All right, I'll check in again soon. Good morning. So it's day 2. So today is Thursday. I didn't get to finish my iris last night because we ended up going to the library, which was a good thing because I picked up another book. And then last night when I sat down with the other book that I already had, I really wasn't enjoying it. So I'm glad that I grabbed another book while I was there. I really need to just spend the 10 minutes or so to finish that iris. I need to get these cats started, hopefully finished. Oh my goodness, I just realized I'm not wearing earrings. All right, pause. Okay, I have earrings in. That for me is like being nude. That is awful. I do have to have a sleep study done tonight. So my doctor is like, yep, we're getting this sleep study done. I can do it at home, but this afternoon or late this afternoon, I have to go and get all wired up. Yeah, I think first cab off the rank is going to be this iris. I really want to get that finished. All right, I will keep you updated on how things are progressing. Okay, so I'm all wired up for my sleep study. Look at me. I look like a robot. How exciting. I have finished the irises. So I finished the, excuse this little thing on my finger. I finished the irises. I just need to sand the backs. So what I do is obviously sand off that little bit of ground that is on the back, and also I sand it to give it a bit of a texture, and then I spray it with sealer. So sorry, I first spray it with a fixative to keep the painting in place, and then I spray it with a sealer. So yeah, so the irises are done. All right, I'm going to sign off for today because obviously this is all going on. Wish me a good night's sleep, and I'll let you know how it all goes in the morning. So yeah, all right, time for this robot to sign off for the moment. All right, I'll see you again tomorrow. Hello, welcome to Friday. So today's Good Friday. Now I did my sleep study last night, so you saw me looking like a robot with all my wires and stuff. I slept okay. I don't sleep well as it is, hence the sleep study, but it is a little bit harder to sleep when you have got a bunch of wires hanging off you. I have to wait about 10 to 15 days for a technician to analyse all of the results from my study, and then they will let my doctor know, and then Riley will call me and give me the results. So yeah, I sketched in the one set of cats. I just have to sand the other set. I might do some of that while I am talking to you. I will drop this down a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So I just need to, when I paint, sometimes the ground goes over the edges. So I just need to sand that off so that it's nice and shiny brass again. So I don't know if you can see that. Not very well. That's okay. You get the idea of things. So yeah, I just need to sketch in the cats on this pair, and then I should be able to paint both pairs today. All right, I'm going to finish sanding these. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, and then I am going to start painting some cats. All right, I'll be back soon with an update. Okay, so I started painting the cats, and the first problem is I forgot to press record. But now the issue I've got is when I've drawn in this cat, I have used just a grey lead pencil, and it's a 4B. It's been a little bit thicker, and then I have rubbed it and it's kind of smudged some of it, which means that the white is not going to be as white. I will generally have to paint over that using a white gouache or something like that, rather than just leaving the ground as the background. The other problem I've got is that with this little kitty here, I sketched in the details and then I wasn't happy with it. And I have actually smudged that one too. So I'm having just a bit of a mare of a day. I wasn't happy with it, so I rubbed it with an eraser, and I rubbed it back. The problem then is that it can leave the surface a little bit shiny, and I've ended up where the paint isn't adhering, it is just kind of lifting. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to sand this one back and possibly this one and recoat them with ground because the ground just isn't. So the ground is designed to sort of have a texture like watercolor paper, but it is not exactly like watercolor paper. So I've found that sometimes I will paint it on and it will still have a weird sort of shiny bit, but this was actually caused because I used an eraser and erased part of it, and it's obviously taken that surface off. So what I will do, I will show you how I deal with this. I don't get sad, I just go, that's what happens, and then I can just sand it back. I wanted to show you what was going on because I want to show you how trial and error some of these things are. I mean, look, this is my third go at these cats. I've had them as a couple of different designs and I didn't like them. So now I've found the shape that I like, but now I have to sand this one back. Sorry if that's a bit noisy, but yeah, I just wanted to show you. So what I'll do now is I will speed it up so that you can see it in fast motion, and then yeah, I will repaint it with watercolor ground. Okay, so that one's sanded back now. So what I need to do is recoat that with ground. So I will just flip this inside out because I don't want to get any dust on it. I will get my ground, and then this takes quite a few coats because unfortunately you need to let each coat dry in between. So I get a little bit of a wetter brush. I'll just zoom in a bit for you, and then we do the first coat. So the first coat is quite thin, and then I do slightly thicker coats each time, but this will probably take 4 or 5 coats, and I have to let it dry a little bit in between. So because if I try to do too many at once, like too thick a coat, see what happens, it just moves it around. So I don't want that. I want this coat to dry, and then I can come in and do the next one. So what I think I'll do now is I will sand this one back, and then I can work on the ones that are okay. So that's the other set of cats. They were going to be the calico ones, but I might do those as black and white and then do these recoated ones as calico. So that's where we're at the moment. Happy Saturday. So it is now, what time is it? It is 12 minutes past 4 on Saturday. The cats are starting to look good. You just saw me painting those. So they're coming up really nicely. I'm super happy with the way they're turning out. I love them. So yeah, I think they're going to become a permanent fixture, and hopefully cat lovers will snap them up. I have sketched out a little robin, and I have sketched out a dandelion, and then I had a little bit of an accident and splooshed some paint on one of my other squares. So I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with that. I may be able to get that paint off. If not, I'll have to turn it into something, and that is fine. The other cats, I have finished coating them with ground. They need a little bit of a sand because there's a lot of brush marks on this one. So, and yeah, they need to be sanded around the edges, and then I can sketch in the cats and paint those. I want to do those as like a calico cat, I think. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Thanks for joining me for these last, it's ended up being 4 days. I did get a few things done, which is great. But yeah, I've just got to gear myself up ready for next week. I'm going to do a few more things over this long weekend. We've got 2 more days off, public holidays. So Doug's at home. So we'll do a few things around the house. We did actually get out into the garden today and do a little bit out there, which was great. But yeah, I'm going to finish these cats. I might go for a walk before it goes dark, I think. And yeah, just get some fresh air because I'm still a little bit tired and I'm a little bit headachy. I've been having trouble with my shoulder today as well. I've got frozen shoulder and it's a bit achy today. So I might go and get myself some fresh air. And then my best friend is coming for dinner. So we are cooking a pesto pasta, which will be delicious. All right, thanks for joining me. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I will see you again next week. Bye for now.